How long do you foresee the implementation of these, the outcomes of that summit? Would you like to see it in your budget next year? Is it more long-term than that, or do you expect a mix? And just on the question of skills, looking at the programs that were put in place during the pandemic, we saw examples of, say, $16 million going to companies that effectively just trained, forced staff into certificates despite studying other things. Do you think that's an appropriate use of money? And should these programs be reviewed? They're obviously pandemic, some of them have come to a conclusion, but should they be reviewed to make sure that they were used properly?
Look, every program in every part of the budget needs to get maximum bang for buck. We inherited a budget which is heaving with $1 trillion in Liberal debt, and we need to be conscious of that. So every dollar that is spent on taxpayers' behalf, invested on their behalf, needs to get maximum bang for buck. And so part of the effort that Katie and I are putting in now is to make sure that that's the case. One moment, Adam. On the timing and the outcomes of the summit, we've deliberately chosen to put this Jobs and Skills Summit on as soon as possible, before the October budget that we'll be handing down, because there may be steps proposed and agreed at the summit which could be implemented quickly. We don't want to preempt that. But equally, the whole reason we've got a summit in September, a budget in October, another one in May, the white paper will report most probably in about 12 months' time, is because we see the task of boosting incomes and solving labour shortages and making the economy more productive and making everybody better off. This is not just the task of 1 or 2 days in September. This is the task of every single day that we're in office. And so we've chosen the timing deliberately. We don't want to preempt what may come out of it, but it is possible that if there is common ground found and agreement found at the summit, if we can move quickly, we will. I also say one final point. We have a comprehensive economic plan already, which is about training more people for these skills shortages. It's about making it easier for newer parents to go back to work and to work more hours if they want to. It's about cleaner and cheaper energy, a future made in Australia, boosting our infrastructure, including our digital infrastructure. So the foundations are there. If there are other suggestions that people want to put forward and seek agreement across the Australian community, then clearly we will listen to those suggestions too.
Try and broker a deal at the Jobs Summit between unions and employers. They'll all be there regarding improving enterprise bargaining. Are you concerned about how the system is currently working?
Yes, in a word. Quite clearly it's not working as effectively as it could, and both employers and unions are saying that. So where we can get cooperation, that's a good thing. There was some progress made by the process that was set up by the former government, and then legislation appeared that didn't reflect the discussions that had taken place. So we want, wherever possible, we want employers and unions to work together. They have a common interest, and it's called the national interest.